Check it out. It is Zest for Life, aka Fresh Mark Scents, the best scents representing everything that is worth buying. And everything else that isn't worth buying, leave it to the side. What are we talking about? This is the episode that I promised you. Do you remember what I promised you? I promised you a replacement for a scent that is not even in the shops anymore. Discontinued scents. How do we replace them? Are they replacements of things that have already come from before? Of course they are, because a lot of things are inspiration from the past, and now we can recreate them. What was in the past that is not presently in the shops today? Angel Pure Havana by Mugler. I probably didn't say it right, but who cares? 'Cause it's not even in the shops anymore, but everybody's raving about it. Why is this fragrance so special? Probably because of supply and demand. I never thought, well, I like the fragrance. I like the honey, tobacco, the cacao. It's got, has it got rose in there? It's got a little bit of a sort of creamy sandalwood, little bit May rose thing going on. And I can see a lot of Harrods perfume, including Armani, Pure Majesty, and the like, with this sort of May rose and cacao, soft tobacco vibe, which is similar to this. And why is this so good? I think the patchouli in this was popular from the original Angel Pure. Um, Angel have, oh sorry, Angel by Mugler for men had a popular patchouli, which I thought quite dirty. I thought it was quite dirty, and it actually brought the fragrance down a little bit. I think the patchouli in this fragrance makes it smell a little bit cheaper than it should, whereas the tobacco and the honey flavor, really the honey scent, the honey and tobacco scent is the signature of this fragrance, and the cacao blends very well. But what can we do if we want to replace this and we can't find this anywhere in stores? If you go on eBay right now, this is probably 150, maybe even £200. And for what? You're probably not going to get a full bottle, and if you do, you probably feel cheated because there are other fragrances out there that smell very similar. But do they last as long? One such fragrance I'm going to talk about today is Insurrection 2 Wild. Yep, Insurrection 2 by Rayan Tradition. Now, these two fragrances, they both have cacao, honey, and tobacco. This fragrance, Insurrection 2, when I spray it side by side, so there's Havana on this side, so you know. Havana's on this side, Insurrection on this side. Insurrection slightly sweeter. It has hollow notes where I'm concerned. Where the creaminess of May Rose is on this, you don't really get much rose. You get a little bit of the cream of the rose, and it's kind of a flat. It's not a luscious red rose or luscious pink rose. It's just the flat falling petals of it. It's it's like it smells like rose petals, but not a whole rose because it doesn't have a full bodied scent to it, which is the lightness, the creaminess, the powderiness of the pink floral. It doesn't have that, but it does have a very warm, slightly ambery, more ambery tobacco. It's an ambery tobacco. So the spiciness of tobacco, more amber instead of the florals. It has got a honey note, but that honey note is a little bit more benzoin. It's still there. It's still there, and it's still honey. And when it's performing on the skin and macerating on the skin, working with the chemistry, it smells more and more like honey. And then it slightly turns off into benzoin. So here's honey, here's benzoin. It's light honey, and it's turning into benzoin. And we got overtime basically sometimes. Um, and when I compare it In the beginning, you get a lot of dirty patchouli, and that masks up a lot of the other scents, which is the richness of tobacco. Now, the tobacco in this smells more hollow than the tobacco in this, whereas the rose in this is more than the rose in Insurrection 2. So what you getting? You're getting less creaminess from the rose, but more sweetness, like caramelized sweetness from the benzoin. And benzoin is slightly different from amber because amber is like a glowing rock, like a warm glowing rock. That sort of smell of something that is on the fire, but it's very hot. It's glowing like a crystal. You know, you get some sort of orange scent. You might get yes, the caramelized benzoin scent. You might get a very like some resinous smell as well. Like Oppermax can smell like that too. And you do have it does smell like there are some resins used in here, but just a tiny little bit. So you get the ambery tobacco, slightly flat pink petals with not too much sandalwood, but the cacao takes that place of the smoothness of the sandalwood, which is what this does, but I find that this turns into a more musky, masculine, rugged scent with tobacco falling less spicy than it was originally, the May rose taking over, and that dirty patchouli rides straight through the quality of the tobacco. So the dry down of this is slightly worse than the dry down of this. In my humble opinion, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, if you want to be true to the scent, true to the DNA, of course, the DNA of one fragrance is going to be the same and it's hard to copy. But I think the DNA of this fragrance is slightly, I want to say better, because I kind of want to feel special by having this discontinued fragrance. I'd say this is a more masculine fragrance in terms of dirty patchouli. But if you're looking for a honey rose, if you're looking for a honey tobacco fragrance, you get it with this and you get it with this. You get more of a caramel honey if you like that with this, and you get more of a masculine, musky tobacco honey aftertaste with this after scent. So this leans more masculine. However, it's very difficult to get, and I don't like the patchouli and what it does for it. I think it doesn't really add too much character. It sort of takes away from the quality of the tobacco. Whereas it does have nice May rose note. Rose is one of the notes, I believe. And this does not have so much of a rose note, but it more than makes up for it in its ambery sweetness, which from far away gets compliments and is known to be very similar or identical in scent profile at the end. I would say this is slightly warmer. The Insurrection 2 Wild is slightly warmer, and uh, and the Pure Havane by Mugler is darker and slightly more. Well, it's more sexy if you like dark, rugged things, but not everybody likes dark, rugged. And if you don't play dark, rugged right by dressing well, you could just be dark and dirty. So if you're wearing a rugged or masculine or musky perfume, you have to make sure that your personal hygiene and your look is clean enough to make it look like you don't smell like musk by accident, which is the and we're not dealing with that in fresh market. So anyway, rounding all of that up, this is the more masculine variety, and it lasts longer, about 7 hours. This also, actually, I'd say this lasts about the same amount, maybe even less. It doesn't project as much, I tell you that. It doesn't project as much as this. It lasts long on the skin, this musky note, but it doesn't project that much. And I think maybe over time, this was This came out in a time where people wanted stronger perfumes and things were being reformulated before it was dropped out. And this came into a time where everybody's got superpower perfumes and everybody wants a cheap perfume that can match up to the standards of more expensive perfume. I say with perfume a lot of times you get what you pay for. So if you're gonna buy a £10 fragrance, it usually has cheap ingredients and it wouldn't last that long. But if you keep on looking, you're bound to find something that is cheap and has emulated the scent of something higher quality. But usually, if you pay for a higher price, you get better ingredients. But nowadays, well, the company's ethos is that the customer is always wrong until told otherwise, rather than the customer is always right. So now brand value has actually degraded itself because the brands have not treated the customers with the respect they deserve, and they've been reformulating things and taking good perfumes off the market. I've seen the Angel Mugler, the original one, on sale or whatever, in Notino recently. I didn't buy it because I didn't want it. I gave it away first hand, and actually no, I sold it. I was getting my phone. But I gave that away and I kept this one. So that's the story of that. Let me know in the comment section what you think about Pure, Mugler Havane, and Insurrection Too Wild. I personally think because of the price of this, and I'm a bit of a rebel with brands, I don't believe in brand value unless it's consistently upheld, not with one hit wonders like this. So I take this as it is. It's a great perfume, but I think for the price, I'd rather have like two bottles of this and nobody knows the difference. So let me know what you think in the comment section. So whatever you do, stay free and stay fresh. Pow! I'm gonna spray up with my favorite for the day. Pow, 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 pow. Woo!